high table, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, peace be upon you all. I'm so happy today. I'm so delighted because of this historic occasion that is having a coalition of Fulani socio-cultural groups, their leaders, the leaders of Herdsmen, and the other stakeholders to come together for unification. There's no doubt the purpose of this gathering is for us to be united, and not only united for a purpose. United for a purpose with commitment in order to contribute our quota in solving the security challenges we are having in Nigeria today. We are lucky the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Swahili Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is committed to solving security challenges in Nigeria as of today. So it is our responsibility to request for an enabling environment. At the same time, it is our responsibility to be committed and be ready for citizen engagement so that we educate ourselves, so that we convince ourselves, so that we ensure that there is peace and stability in Nigeria among different ethnic nationalities. If we can look back into history, the relationship between herdsmen and farmers in those old years was a symbiotic relationship, a very, very attractive relationship, a brotherly relationship. A symbiotic relationship because the herdsman was able to get enough grazing areas for his livestock and was ready to spend years, sometimes 1 season, 2 seasons, many years, while the farmer is getting fertilizer from the livestock. So it was a symbiotic relationship. But with increasing population, with increase in infrastructural facilities, with increase in human activities, and also because of climate change, the grazing areas are no more available like before. We talk of grazing roads. In those days, the grazing roads were available, were free, were protected. But now, because of increasing population, some of the grazing routes are big towns, hamlets, settlements. How do you recover the grazing routes in such a manner? So the relationship now is fading into parasitic relationship rather than symbiotic relationship. Fortunately for the farmers, fertilizer was introduced. Modern fertilizer was introduced. Therefore, the demand of the farmer on the fertilizer from the cows has drastically reduced. Unfortunately, the herdsman no improved grass through biotechnology, which is possible now, has not been provided to him. So the farmer has an alternative, a fertilizer. The herdsman has no alternative. He's still depending on the heavily encroached grazing areas. Due to climate change, even the dams providing water to the herdsmen, the dams are silted. In some areas, non-existence. So these are the challenges. Therefore, the problem started with clashes between herdsmen and farmers because the relationship is no more symbiotic. These clashes graduated into cattle rustling, kidnapping, banditry, armed robbery, and even unidentified gunmen. So we have to face these challenges, and the best way is to come together and agree that there must be peace and stability. Also, we can identify the types of herdsmanship that we have in Nigeria. First, we have the herdsmen that are coming from West Africa. Because of climate change, they have to leave West African countries because of the ECOWAS protocol on transhumans. They are free to come into the northern part of this country, move to the middle belt of this country, and down to the southern part of this country. But as you know, they are coming with thousands of cattle, and they are not carrying food. Along the route, they have to get food, and they end up cutting economic trees along the route. That creates a problem between farmers and the herdsmen who are coming from West Africa. That is one type of herdsmanship in Nigeria. The second one is the settled Fulanis, herdsmen who are fully settled, involved in farming, involved in herdsmanship. Those settled ones have the opportunity to educate their children because there are schools. And I'm happy to say that I am a product of that herdsmanship. If, say, for example, I belong to the other group, moving from one place to another, I couldn't have the opportunity to be in school. I learned Hausa language while I was in primary school. So I didn't know what they were saying when I was in the class. I was looking at the class. That was the first time. I never entered a motor vehicle. When I entered a motor vehicle, I saw trees running. Not knowing that it is the vehicle that was running, not the trees. I never saw electricity. I never saw pipe-borne water. So, we have the second group of herdsmen in Nigeria. The third group of herdsmen in Nigeria are those who travel from the northern part. They are Nigerians, travel from the northern part of this country to the central Nigeria, down to the southern part of Nigeria, and coming back, depending on the season, creating problems along the routes. fourth herdsmanship are those herdsmen who have settled among the different ethnic nationalities for ages because of the previous symbiotic relationship that existed, which now has disappeared and resulted into a parasitic relationship. Those are the herdsmen that are in serious problem. They are among other ethnic nationalities with differences in economic activities, with differences in ethnicity, with differences in religion. So in order to solve these problems, we have to look at the sociology of the herdsmen and also provide an enabling environment. We cannot continue like this. Previous administrations in Nigeria tried their best to solve the problem, but I think the best was not the best for the moment. It was not good enough to solve the problem. That is why, when I was the governor of Kano State, we organized a national conference involving so many stakeholders, members of the academic environment. We had more than 20 professors on livestock production. We have different socio-cultural organizations. We have different stakeholders. And we came up with a document and a blueprint which will soon be presented to Mr. President. We are waiting for the time to be given so that document will be presented to Mr. President. But in order for that blueprint to be implemented by federal government, the herdsmen must be convinced that there must be changing narratives. Because we normally ask, is herdsmanship for historical antecedents, or is herdsmanship for economic development? We have to choose. If the herdsmanship is to improve our well-being, then we must change our attitude. From the practical example that we have seen, those herdsmen who are settled have the opportunity for their children to be educated. And that is the main problem. If all our children are educated, we wouldn't have been in this problem. But for our children to be educated, we must be settled. Because education is much more than a transborder education. Nomadic education has failed because the whole concept of education has been misunderstood. In order for education to be all-encompassing, there is a need for change a complete way of life. So, ladies and gentlemen, this coalition of socio-cultural groups, coalition of leaders of herdsmen, this is just the nucleus. We shall continue, we will widen, we will deepen the composition of this coalition. We will bring in all the professionals, all the stakeholders, veterinary doctors, medical doctors, engineers of different types, business community. Because all hands must be on deck in order to bring peace and stability in Nigeria. What we are looking for after change of attitude, to take advantage of the enabling environment to be provided by government, then, I mean, the way we are getting revenue from oil, we get revenue from livestock production. Every inch of a cow is an asset. It's money. The meat is money. The leather is money. The blood is money. The bones is money. The holes is money. Then why are we not being committed in order to have reform in the livestock production? Not only having reforms, the reform must be sustainable. So this document being, if handed over to the government, we are looking for sustainability in the reforms of livestock production. And that will eventually lead to a harmonious coexistence between farmers and herdsmen. This document, after being presented to the federal government, will circulate it to all leaders of herdsmen, to all social, cultural organizations, to all stakeholders, so that we can take advantage of that. With these few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I can say that the herdsmen are born again. Herdsmen are born again, and they ensure that if their life is important, the life of farmers is also important. We are not here to protect a particular ethnic group. We are here to lay foundation for peace and stability in Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. A big round of applause for him, please. Particularly, I like the closing sentence. The herdsmen are born again. This is profound. Your Excellency, this has really got deep into our hearts, and we believe your good intentions are going to materialize very soon. And for somebody who is born again, and I'm sure our Christian brothers are here, it means salvation is almost assured. So we believe the pastoralists and the herdsmen are born again. Salvation is very close. And in the course of salvation them, the president can play a very crucial role, especially the issues that has to do with ethnic profiling and negative media reportage. We solicit for your support in this regard, because it has been a major problem. Thank you so much. Very quickly, on a sad note, the